Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. South Africa is free of face masks, but then if you bought in bulk, what do you do with your unused masks? The Institute of Waste Management of Southern Africa is urging members of the public to donate them rather than throwing them in the bin. For more on this, I'm joined by the organization's president, Mpendulo Gininza. Very good evening to you. Thank you for your time. It was a sigh of relief for some that face masks are no longer mandatory. And you're saying that for those who have bulks of these masks, they can now donate them because you have other uses for them. Talk to us about that.
Thank you, Paul. Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers, and thanks for having us tonight. Yes, most definitely. I'm sure most of us have some masks that are unused, as we had bought some to be able to help mitigate the scourge of the pandemic. So what we are saying is hold on to the masks. It's not time to start throwing them away and flooding the bins, and because we know that eventually from the bins the waste goes to the landfill sites, which are currently under pressure. There are many things that can be done with those unused masks. For example, we have some of them are surgical masks, so those can be used in the hospitals. They're still much needed in nursing homes. They can be taken there to be used. And then the normal masks, which still have some protection for the face. There's the construction industry, for example, and other industries that are exposed to dust when they work. They could use those to protect as a form of protection on their faces. So you can take them there also to be used. And then there are other applications where we can use the masks. These are light fabrics. They can be used as fillers in different places. So yes, definitely, don't start throwing those masks into the dustbin, because we don't want to start flooding the landfill sites. You can imagine how many of those we have because we've been proactive and we've had to buy for ourselves, our children, relatives. So we definitely have a much, not to mention the producers and those who sell them. So it's definitely not time to be throwing them away.
You say the waste goes to landfill sites which are currently under immense pressure, and we know that we have seen the impact of pollution, and especially as these masks are not biodegradable. How severe is the pollution of these masks on our society?
It's a concern, and a severe concern for us as environmentalists, because yes, the first issue is that the masks are not biodegradable. So they are made of polymers. There's a light plastic which they are made of, and with these also, because we use them to prevent the spread of COVID, which is a health hazard and it's an infectious one. So if disposed incorrectly and it's out and exposed, there could be contamination, so it becomes a health hazard. That's the first thing. And then if the mask is left in the open environment, after it becomes litter. And with litter, once you see a place where there's litter, people tend to then litter more, so it encourages people to continue littering. And then as the mask stays on in the open environment as well, the weather, rain or wind could move it, and then it goes into drains where it can cause blockages into the drains, and then eventually find its way into the marine environment.
Yeah.
Yes, and then the material itself then breaks down, as we know, over time. Like any other cloth that is just left in the open, it will start breaking down and become macro particles. And these particles could stay for a very long time in the environment, and then with weathering, with heat, cold, and weather condition, it breaks down even further to micro particles and nanoparticles, and those are the ones that we're concerned also about. And studies have been done in South Africa to show that these are found in our water, sometimes in drinking water and in the rivers. And that's hazardous for us and the ecosystem, the fishes and other organisms that rely on the environment as a life support. So it is a concern.
With the effects of climate change, I mean, buzzwords like sustainability have really been those which have come to the forefront, making consumers more aware of what they are, disposing of and how they're disposing of it. What about cloth masks? How can those be reused? Are those also part of the ones that you would require to perhaps give to other industries like constructions and the hospitals?
Cloth masks, there is a use for them as well. If the construction industry and other industries that are exposed to dust can be used. I mean, I think you could have, you can also remember maybe personally taking a handkerchief and just closing your nose to prevent dust from coming through. So definitely those can be used as well, can be kept. And I'm sure tailors as well could find innovative ways of using them to sew them together, use the materials, and we're seeing the textile industry doing those innovative things with the materials. It doesn't matter the size, but there's millions of us who have been making those masks, and we have also bought materials to make them. So those two could be useful for repurposing.
So how then do people who may be watching and listening perhaps get hold of you, or are you saying that they should rather go to a hospital and just donate, or go to a construction site and just donate?
Yes, if they have access to hospitals, construction sites, they can go and donate. We are also available. We have a website at www.IWMSA, which is Institute of Waste Management, Southern Africa. You'll find our details and contacts, and there's always someone available there to give you more information and to connect you to the people that will take up whatever you are donating.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time. That was Mpendulo Gininza, President of the Institute of Waste Management of Southern Africa, giving you some tips on what you can do with the masks that you no longer require.